Okay, so here's what I got. This is a Revo 2.5 steel shaft. It actually bolted right up to the cup in there, which was pretty cool because I was kind of worrying how I was going to make a 2.5 shaft fit right there because it was perfect length. The back, it's kind of hard to see in the lighting. Let's see here. My phone sucks. It's just a stock LST trans, but this cup right here is actually a Revo steel drive cup that you get when you upgrade the Revo shafts to the steel shafts. And that bolted nice to the transmission, just slid right over, no slop, no nothing, just tightened it down. The only other thing I need to do to finish this is not staying. I'm actually going to cut this off. These are here for reinforcement. I'm going to leave those there for the reinforcement. I will have to, I'm going to use this skid on it. Sets like that, doesn't really matter. But I have another skid that I will have to cut, and this will have to be raised just a little bit because this transmission comes down just a little bit lower than the side rails itself. Also, I will be using Losi 3.4 pipe just because I like the way it looks a little better than the T-Max pipe. Still got to fix the steering on it, but that's no big deal. I went with the single steering servo. That'll be plenty enough for the truck because it's not a heavy truck. Not heavy at all. And I used the aftershock tank because it has the cutout. And I specifically wanted to go with the front tank setup so I'd have all the room right there. I had thought about putting a buggy tank right here, but this just sits on here so well. And it looks really clean with the truck. The only thing I have left to do is mount the throttle brake servo, which I'll be mounting right here. I got to get a body for it. I want to make sure it all fits okay, and this doesn't kind of stick out with the body. I think it'll be okay. I'll probably have it setting right there. The only issue I'm having right now is the receiver pack. I was originally going to use the stock mounting location right there, but the Revo transmission kind of interferes with the stock mounting. So Extreme Racing makes a holder, a carbon fiber holder for the Revo battery, just for a flat pack. I think that will actually fit right down in there just nicely. Or I may go with a Lifey or LiPo battery pack and stick it underneath the tank. I think there's plenty of room underneath the tank to do that. I just got to cut off the other fin right there, but I don't want to have too much weight to one side and then too much weight to another side. I wanted to do this build. Mainly, one of the main things was I love the LST truck line. It's one of my favorite truck lines. You may have seen my video with 3.4 and LST. That thing was actually pretty stupid fast. It wasn't like high top speed. It only went about 42, 43 miles an hour, but it was fast. I used to use that one when I used to race monster truck racing when it was popular. I'm telling you, that 3.4 was not a high revving engine, but it was a very torquey engine. It was just such a beautiful setup. I regret selling that truck. I'm trying to actually find another 3.4 to rebuild it. Some of the things you don't see on this truck, of course, Lunsford titanium turnbuckles and hinge pin set. Some of you guys may have noticed that. The only other titanium I have on here are the hinge pin braces back here. I don't know if you could see those. Those are titanium. Hardcore Racing did make a titanium plate right there, but I can't find it. I missed out on the bid on eBay one time to get that. That's all I wanted to get. But the chassis itself, I cut out. Gosh, if one advice I can give you, if you're ever cutting carbon fiber, wear gloves and wear long sleeves. My arms were itchy for about a whole week from cutting this, and this took me. I'm very anal about cutting stuff. I have seen some people put Emax transmission or Summit transmission on a LST and run it brushless. And I've seen the way they just cut out a plate and stick it to the original chassis. That's what I originally thought about doing, but I thought that was a little bit lazy and just a little bit sloppy. I figure, you know, if I'm going to do this build, I might as well do it right. Just cut out the carbon fiber myself. One thing I wish I would have done, though, I did cut out for dual servos. I wish I would have just cut it out for single servo, and of course it doesn't have this pocket back here. These are Yeti XL Shocks. They're the same length as the regular LST shocks. I was running Muggy shock towers, but in doing that, I couldn't get to the roto start to start the engine. That kind of discouraged me for a while, and I kind of put this project off almost for a whole year because of that. I've been working on this for a couple years now, but church, kids, and sports, kids sports have kind of put me off of it. But I was going to run Muggy towers with the Losi 8T 3.0 shocks. It was a great setup. But I think this thing is turning out very well. The only thing I have to overcome now is the high-tech servo is just a little too tall, and it's hitting the arm. The arm won't work well, so I may just get another servo for it, or I may just grind the mounts down just a hair, just make it fit, because I really wanted to use the spare high-tech servos that I had. I don't want to have to buy anything. Just don't have the money for it. This novarossi 2.5, a lot of guys say it runs like a 21. They say it runs good. I'm telling you, this truck is super lightweight. I think it's going to do very well. If they ever do come out with monster truck racing again, like track racing, not the, you know, the 10-second or 15-second long racing, but the one where, you know, 3, 5, and 10-minute mains. I think it'll do well. I think it's going to handle well. Everything is centered really well. The engine actually sits just right at the body post, so it's got a very low center of gravity. My 3.4 LST, I loved it. It was low center of gravity, the same thing. The engine sat very low. The thing handled like a dream. But it was too wide. You couldn't fit cool bodies and just dump them really low. That's the main reason why I did this build. Have everything centered and just get bodies that'll just fit and work, and just dump them down really low and just make it look really cool. So that's pretty much it for now. This you can't see, but it's a very, very close fit between the transmission and the crankshaft. There's a very, very small gap, but it's not lined up exactly. You might be able to see it's off just a hair, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. I did have to flip the spur gear around just to pull it out this way just a little bit more to help with that clearance. I really do like the way this header looks better, and the pipe's going to look better. I don't know, the T-Max pipe, the way it comes up and down, I don't know, just looks kind of cheesy to me. It just doesn't look race inspired like the truck is going to look. And I'm going to be running HPI dirt bones. I really like them because they're a very lightweight, grippy tire, and they last forever. And I'll be running HPI Mag 8 wheels, and I plan on getting the Proline 81 Chevy body, I think it is, for it. I think it's going to look really good. I'll be actually taking a couple weeks off from work. I have a baby coming any day now, I'll have a couple weeks off of work, and I plan on finishing it then while mommy and baby are sleeping. Hopefully get it broken in and get some running video up of this so we can see how it's come along.